Hey y'all, this is Marla K. Hope everybody is well. I want to talk about Bitcoin again. This story is really important because it's one of these read between the lines stories. So, again, y'all see what's happening all over the world with the digital currencies. I brought you a couple of stories last week, I think. And it's evident that everybody has gone beyond the pilot phases. They've done their test. They are rolling out their digital currencies, their digital wallets, their digital IDs. They're connecting those digital uh, frameworks to digital devices like tablets and phones. Just has not happened here, and because Babylon is controlling everything. They have to do a controlled demolition of the systems and the things that we have become accustomed to. And in the process, they got to figure out how they're going to steal from us to make the new thing work. Because, of course, everything in Babylon is an illusion and a Ponzi scheme. It does not work unless it is taken from somebody else. Gotta steal from the bottom to feed the ones on the top, and it just seems like people can't really grasp that yet. And they also can't grasp the fact that as this thing crumbles, they're basically telling you what they're going to do. We're seeing it play out on a big scale when you talk about say, for instance, how they did Russia when they seized Russia's assets, and then they hold on to the assets, they put them in trust or something, and then they take the interest. They don't spend the principal, but they'll make money off the interest, and then they take that interest and fund the war in Ukraine, or they'll fund weapons for Israel to fight Hezbollah or some whoever. So this is a trial run to see what everybody's going to say about when they seize your assets. I mean, it's basically what they're doing to us now. We deposit our principals in bank accounts. They spend the interest, they make interest off the money, which is why, your job may process payroll and put it in on Wednesday, but you don't get paid till Friday, and the bank gets to hold the money for X number of days, or the money is already in their account making interest. They're using it to lend to people and so on and so forth. But everybody's making money except for the last person who receives the money, and that's the person who works the hardest. So basically, we getting ready to be scammed, and they're laying out the playbook. They're gonna use Bitcoin. I already told y'all about Bitcoin. Well, I'm not gonna go into it again. I will put the link to the video at the end of this video. But we finna get railroaded, y'all. It's gonna be bad. But anyway, Senator Loomis suggests Bitcoin Reserve as a solution to tackle U.S. national debt. So, of course, if you get folks to buy into Bitcoin, you get them to transition into digital currency. So you give them this is the savior, the solution. And people will do anything because they're going to tie it to what? Something that you care about, something that you average Joe person needs or wants. Or they'll just create some other stuff because they got people so stupid now. It's ridiculous. But anyway, this story came out on July 30th. So it says U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis reiterated her proposal for a Bitcoin reserve to assist in reducing the national debt. Now, y'all already know why blockchain. And anytime they say Bitcoin, just replace Bitcoin with blockchain technology. And when I did the piece about the blockchain technology, hardly nobody looked at it. But the whole purpose of it is to transition from one uh, currency to another currency. At the crash, if an economy crashes, then this is the solution for the next thing. This is what they created, and so now you're seeing all this. Let's get into Bitcoin. Well, they created Bitcoin, so this is stupid. But anyway, it came after the Treasury Department revealed Monday that the U.S. gross national debt surpassed $35 trillion for the first time. This dramatic increase starkly contrasts a debt level of 907 billion 4 decades ago, and that's because uh, they are spending like nobody's business on war and more, and we are making less, so we pay fewer taxes. They've given corporations lots of tax cuts, so the burden of caring for the country is placed upon the backs of the poorest people who don't have no money. So people, we already spending our money. uh, the majority of our income really pays taxes, because you pay taxes on everything. You're just not living and not getting money. I mean, you just living and paying to exist in this society. Unless you're uber rich and they have tax loopholes for you, they don't have the same things or same privileges for poor people. Poor people have to pay so that the rich people can be rich. And corporations make billions of trillions of dollars off the backs of hardworking average Americans, and they don't pay any taxes most times. They have ways, like you saw, people like Donald Trump spend $600 on taxes, and he's a billionaire. Don't make no sense. But that's how this country is set up. And so now that they have made it so that the wealth gap is so huge, you can't ignore it anymore. Now they got to try to get out of it, because this Ponzi scheme of a economy can't. It's unsustainable now. So they got to come up with new stuffs, but they've been came up with the new stuffs. They're just acting like right now it's just this is the right time to do this thing. It's a perfect solution, but they already created a solution for the problem that they created. So it's not really anything new. It's happening exactly the way it's planned. Loomis advocates for U.S. Bitcoin reserve to reinforce dollar's global dominance. Well, there gonna be no global dominance, because we having a multipolar world now with BRICS. So the children of the corn are either willingly um, or let's just say willfully or ignorantly promoting something that they know is not going to work. But the other thing is they're selling it as this global dominance. It is going Blockchain technology is going to be global dominance. Bitcoin, all going away at the end of the day, because everybody got to use central bank digital currencies. So Bitcoin is the gateway. It's like you smoke weed and then you go to crack or cocaine and heroin. That's where we headed. Bitcoin is the gateway to CBDC for America. That's just my 2 cents. Um, because there's no other way you're gonna get there. If you tie it to national debt, oh yeah, they keep telling you about the national debt is huge, yada yada yada. But they don't stop spending. They're not cutting anything. They're not reducing. Well, they are reducing services and programs for people, but they're not reducing their spending. So they gotta roll out this blockchain technology, um, shining thing, so they can, when the economy collapses, they can be like, oh yeah, we got this reserve, and now we're gonna roll it into this thing, and it's gonna be so. It's just the whole plan. Fox Business reported last week that Loomis had been quietly developing a bill requiring the Federal Reserve to maintain Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. There you go. That's it. Replace Bitcoin with blockchain technology as the reserve asset. There you go. Loomis publicly announced the bill's details at the Bitcoin 2024 conference over the weekend. It suggests acquiring 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years for a government reserve. So if you do that, that means by 2030, they will have what they want. And then that's the goal. Might as well say it's 2025. The federal fiscal year ends September 30th. So after October 1st, it's 2025 for the federal government. So they're moving right along with their plans. They're right on time, right on target. And you see, nobody's paying attention. Nobody's talking about this whatsoever. This digital asset hoard, she believes, could significantly reduce the national debt. The Bitcoin would be held for at least 2 decades. I don't believe we're going to be here that long. Also, the Fed and the Treasury would be required to reallocate existing funds to fund the acquisition. According to Loomis, such a reserve would firmly secure the dollar's position as the world's reserve currency. It is going to be the world's reserve currency, but it's not going to be America's it's not going to be America's reserve currency because this system is global now. Families across Wyoming and the U.S. are struggling to keep up with soaring inflation rates and recording breaking costs while our national debt reaches unprecedented levels. Now more than ever, we need to create a brighter future for generations of Americans by diversifying into Bitcoin and securing our economic future, she said. That's not getting ready to happen. This thing going down, thus saith the Most High. Trump commits to retaining seized Bitcoin assets. This is the part that I want to focus on. Because to me, this is the most important part. During his keynote speech at the same conference, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump did not commit to an official Bitcoin strategic reserve. It doesn't matter because he's going to do whatever Rome says to. Rather, he vowed to preserve the existing Bitcoin holdings that the U.S. has accumulated through asset seizures. So that's the end of this. But this is something that I want to talk about, the asset seizing part. They've been doing it to countries. They're going to do it to the people. They've been doing it and everybody has not, people have not really had any response to it. Now you see these other nations are strategically working behind the scenes to create methods to prevent this from happening because everybody's tired of the West. So that's what BRICS is all about. That's why they have accelerated their plans to de-dollarize. Nobody wants to fool with America, the West anymore. They're tired of the way that they dominate. They dominate with the sword, whether it's an economic sword, whether it's a physical sword via weapons, war, or policy, politics, legislation, laws. Whoever has money gets to dominate the people. And so when the Western nations, the children of the corn nations, have been dominating for so long, is unequal. They have this heavy hand. They're not fair. And so the rest of the world is like, we're getting rid of that thing, and we don't want to deal with them anymore. Let's form our own alliances. So you see, they're cooperating when it comes to food, when it comes to resources. And of course, there's going to be some collateral damage, but at the end of the day, it is to dethrone white supremacy. It's to dethrone the West. It's to dethrone America. A nation, there has never been a nation as powerful as this nation that has had the whole entire world captive. along with the West, Europe, Canada, Australia, the Netherlands, all those places. Um, so the world is tired, and so they are countering whatever America is doing, but at the same time, they're all a part of the global agenda. So it gets confusing for just the average person who's like, okay, I see one side, but I don't see the other side. Just remember, the adversary is playing both sides. There ain't no good guys, but the West has to fall, and they have to receive their judgment. So, you think of the BRICS nations and all that pieces. That's part of the Gentile rule ending. Gentile rule is ending, but you're going to have this global, what they call multipolar economic system, a governance structure, all of that. It's coming. It's already set up. It's here. But you got to collapse Babylon. And I saw a really good video. It was short, but it was good, from a gentleman who talked about the systematic um, dismantling of this country. And white people say it, and they're like, they're just systematically dismantling the systems and the norms. Yes, the melting pot is no more. Whatever this place was is no more. But they have to do it system. They have to tear it down or dismantle it systemically from the top down. And that's what they're doing. It. You see it with the courts, you see it with the economic system, you see it with politics, you see it with your politicians, you see it with Supreme Court rulings, you see it at the state level, you see it with schools, you see it with the cultures. You see it with the influx of migrants coming into the country. You see it with in our community with the raccoons. There has to be a dismantling of the old system before you are able to completely tear it down. And it has to start at the top. So that's why you're seeing all this wild stuff happen. Big picture, because at the end of the day, the final pieces of the system, when it falls apart, or when they know they have been successful, is when it gets to us, when we start fighting, when we have wars in our communities, when we start burning down our own stuff, when we can't afford to buy groceries, when it takes us 6 jobs to pay just rent and you can't afford anything else, when multiple families have to live in a household because they can't afford to live by themselves like we have been doing. So when you have this common good mantra, or these common good laws coming from the Pope, and that a lot of them are already on the books, where if you have more than enough, they can take what you have and give it to other people. This asset seizure thing that they're doing, that's getting ready to be the norm. And yet nobody's talking about it. They're going to take your money. When this economy collapses, whatever is in the bank, they're going to take it. They're going to be like, oh, we need it. Um, if you got more than one house, more than one property, and people are going to be homeless because people are already being homeless, they got to do something with those people. If you got 6 houses, or if you are a person who has a lot of properties, they're going to take your properties because you got too much. You don't need all of them. You can't live in them. We're just going to take them. We're going to take what we want because it's for the common good. If you have too much food, um, or if you got land, or if you got whatever they want, they can take it and redistribute it for the common good. This asset seizing is the big overarching idea, but when it trickles down to us, it's going to be common good. Same with the money. When the economic system collapses, when the lights go off, when the internet ain't working, when the bank shut down, your money is gone. They only have to give you pennies on the dollar. So if you got your money, it may not be worth anything, but you'll have your little paper dollars and your change, which change probably will be worth far more than your dollars. But whatever you have on you, you have. If you have anything stored with these institutions, it belongs to the institution, and the institutions are going to belong to the state. So the state, which will be the government, will be able to control your assets, and they'll make money off the assets, and they'll redistribute the wealth. They'll do whatever they want to with it, that whatever they see fit. So this whole thing that's happening is intentional. It's by design. It's meant to be slow. It's meant to be confusing for the average person so that they can't see or understand what's happening. But these things are really important because at the end of the day, we are the collateral damage. We have to protect ourselves. And I know I'm so sick and tired of people saying, well, you ain't going to be able to escape. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. You speak for yourself. Because I personally believe the Most High is giving his people, his chosen people, the ears to hear, uncircumcised hearts to be able to receive what they're hearing, their minds, the renewed minds to process what's happening so that you can navigate how to make it to the end, because our goal is to endure to the end. You can't endure to the end with just wisdom. You got to take that wisdom, you have to do something with it. You learn so that you can live. We're learning so that we can survive. As long as we here, we got to survive. We don't know, when the Messiah is coming back to take us to the wilderness for those of us who are found worthy. But until that happens, we have to know what's going on, and we have to protect ourselves. You have to protect whatever it is that you have. And I'm not saying, you got to put your faith in money or rations or whatever, but you have to survive. And I believe there are some people who are not going to be touched, and I believe there are some people who are going to survive. They may have to flee. We all may have to share. We may have to live, off of whatever we have and ration. But I honestly believe that some of us are going to endure because we are prepared. We are preparing. We're paying attention. We're watching. We're wanting those who have ears to hear. Even, despite the algorithms, we are still getting the word out. We're talking to people, even if it's in your community. That's what matters. So make sure you're paying attention to what's going on with this Bitcoin, this cryptocurrency, because this Bitcoin is blockchain technology. It is the gateway to CBDC. So the fact that they're introducing, and I did not check on this bill. Let's see where the link takes us. Pro-crypto Republican Cynthia Lummis is preparing to unveil new legislation that would establish Bitcoin as a mainstream financial asset. And that is why they're doing it. I just firmly believe I need to look and see who this woman is. I gotta do one more thing before I leave, y'all. Sometimes you got to check out these people's paperwork, because the paperwork sound like it's gonna come back dirty. You got to check out people's paperwork now. Let me see. Ooh, wish. Is it a man or a woman? Okay, let me go. That's not what I wanted. I was looking for. There's no. I was gonna say there ain't nothing about this woman, no place. This is what I want right here. They put a lot of stuff on Wikipedia. I know a lot of people don't like Wikipedia, but I like it because it just gives you all the stuff that you need to know. So let's see. She went to the University of Wyoming. Don't see anything interesting yet. Hmm. Hmm. She worked for Bob Dole. That's a whole other situation right yonder. Mm-mm. I have to do some searching on this woman because I just cannot. She is a Lutheran and adheres to the Lutheran Church, Missouri Synod. Oh, there you go. There it is. Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all know what this means, right? Okay, so there you have it. So you know who she works for. So, okay. I'm sorry I took y'all on a little adventure. Um, I can't say what what I want to say, but the connections are where I thought they would be. So nobody's doing anything for nothing out here in these streets. People are connected to all sorts of bodies, entities, and um, they're working for their masters. I will say that. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video now. When you see people advocating for stuff, I'm gonna need y'all. Y'all need to learn how to check people's paperwork. And I'm gonna do a master class on checking paperwork, because all this information is public. But there are certain ties that you need to look for. Again, you need to look for religious ties, faith ties. You need to look for educational ties. You need to look at political ties. You can't necessarily always go by political ties because some of these people, like this person, I had to dig a whole lot to find out. Well, that's not odd. That's not odd. Nothing. Not a big deal about that. But then you start seeing, there's always something in their bios that tell you who they are. You might got to read a couple of different bios, but that's why I like using Wikipedia, because Wikipedia has stuff that some of their other political bios exclude, and you could just learn a whole lot from Wikipedia. And they have other things that lead you in different directions. But the main thing is to understand changes are coming. The CBDC is coming. They're ready to roll it out, but they need the chaos in the system to go down. But everything is in place, and they are trying to keep their power. Um, or the facade of keeping power. And people will, in America, will support whatever they say, white people, because white people love power. They don't want to lose their power. They love you. They love that language, global dominance. That's in them. It's not gonna work because their rule is over. But this new system that's coming on, this new system is tied to that no buy no sell system, and which is going to be tied to the mark or a sign uh, of the beast, that you worship a beast, which we know is going to be um, whatever day they say worship or their day of rest. Anyway, it's always some religious tie to it. You just gotta um, dig. But start checking these folks' paperwork and pay attention to these stories, because they're telling us what they're going to do to us. It just ain't reached us yet. But it's coming. So we are collateral damage and we need to be prepared. All right, please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Instagram, Rumble, Odyssey, and on Facebook in the event that this channel goes down and the internet is still up. I can talk to you and keep you informed about some other things that I find interesting as this age comes to an end and Gentile rule ends. If you'd like to support the channel, links are in the bottom of the description for my Venmo and my coffee. Any support that you give would be greatly appreciated. Lastly, continue to prep, continue to pray, continue to seek the Most High. A lot of Israelite channels are doing a fast this weekend. Some people are doing a 3-day fast from sundown this evening till Monday. Shabbat is tomorrow, not today. So sundown tomorrow evening to sundown Sunday evening is the Sabbath this week. So if you want to fast and pray, that would be a good time. Others are fasting, I think, for 7 days. There are some other people that are other Israelite channels that are doing a 7-day fast. Whatever you decide to do, we need to fast and pray corporately. So if you choose to do the 3-day, I think I'm going to do the 3-day this week. And you fast, not eating and praying, meditating, worshiping the Most High so that He will move on our behalf. We need to come together corporately. We need to repent. We need to study. We need to take this time to evaluate our lives to see who are the reprobate minds around us so that we can get them from around us, or at least keep an eye on them, because things are really getting ready to start getting dicey the closer we get to September. It's already August. So from September to November, it's going to be wild. And then after November, it's going to be crazy. So, whatever happens after we're supposed to have the election until the person is inaugurated, it's going to be a very difficult time. It's going to be a lot of scarcity. It's going to be a lot of inflation. It's going to be a lot of anger because white people are losing their status. They're losing their money. They can't keep stuff. They're sick. The curses are reversing, and they're finding themselves in the same predicaments that we've been in for hundreds of years, and now they're wanting our help. And black people are like, figure it out. So they're going to be angry. They're going to lash out at us, even though we did nothing. We don't have any power. We didn't create any of this stuff. But we are going to be their favorite whipping bags. So, punching bags. So we need to make sure that we are praying and asking the Most High to guide us during this time, to protect us during this time, to provide for us during this time, and to teach us how to war with our hands and our minds, because we're going to have to do some things that we've been taught by Christianity, by Christendom, not to do. And so we need to pray and ask for discernment and ask for guidance on how to be who our people are. It's been beat out of us. So ask the Most High to renew our hearts, renew our minds, put His will for us into us, so that we can navigate this time and endure to the end, because that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to get to the end. And then getting to the end may not be, always surviving. And it may not be pretty. But whatever His will is for His chosen people for this particular time, let His will be done. All right. Keep watch, family. Love y'all. And I'm out.